Mr. Darko Beats.
Welcome back. Welcome in New York to the Post 90 podcast. I think a special episode of the podcast because the boys are here in person together.
Yeah.
It's been about 6 months.
It's been a long time. Yeah.
6-7 months since we've been able to do this. But nah, I'm happy we're both here. Happy we're together to record this one. I think the in-person emotional support is going to be much needed with some of the heavy NYCFC topics that we unfortunately have to discuss today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we could kick it off anyway. We could talk a little bit about the Charlotte game. I know we're kind of removed from that, but then we have the pleasure of talking about stuff that we would have missed otherwise. So
Yeah, well, no, I almost felt like if we kept waiting on recording this episode, more tragic shit would have happened.
Yeah.
It seemed like every week, every couple of days, it was like, this player goes down, that player goes down, we're going to be without this. It's just, seems like one thing after another, but look, everything to play for the next however many games we get to play this season.
yeah, I mean, there should be no lack of motivation from the guys. I think you even saw a little bit of motivation in the end of the Charlotte game. We were kind of like deer in headlights for a little while, I guess, as you are after you see a deer locker room member just torch everything that has to do with his leg, and Apple has no problem showing that to the community.
That was crazy.
In slow-mo as many times as it is, no regard for who might be watching the game. But yeah, I was glad to see that after that. Obviously, I think there's like a big adrenaline dump, and you kind of have to react to what that means long-term in such a short amount of time with still, half a game ahead of you?
Right.
I thought we responded well. Like, we played really well after the fact, and I think that hopefully it wasn't just like a buff, like we're fighting for our teammate buff, and it was reflective of like we can still potentially look good without Pereira on the field. Yeah,
no, I mean, to touch a little bit on the Apple TV thing, like, they did not need to show that, not only for the player and for his family, but like I could tell just from the main broadcast, the original outside view, you could tell that he broke his leg. Mm-hmm. There was no need to kind of be like, oh, well, what is it? The dude's leg was sideways. Just, I don't know, not needed, but like it is what it is at the end of the day. I was initially thinking that it was going to end up being the kid. And I was, surprised to see it was switched to, I think Hack switched to the middle at that point.
Right.
So like you said, just kind of figuring out on the fly what that injury would exactly mean for not only on the field tactics, but, you talk about a high vibe locker room guy, very well liked. I think contractually, like up in the air within the next couple of years. So just all in all, just a terrible thing. But like you said, they responded. I hated the fact that we were even in this game, which was something I wanted to touch on. Just the way that we handled game 2, coaching-wise, just kind of seemed like we punted on the day. I know dudes were probably tired on short notice, but, you ultimately end up with a player injured, playing minutes that you don't maybe necessarily need.
Right.
And then now we're down 2 stars, not necessarily because of that one game, but it didn't help.
Yeah, I mean, it's a factor for sure, even in Alonso's injury, right? Because you think how out of fitness he could have been in the game that he played for Costa Rica against Haiti, where if he did have that extra 4 or 6 days of rest, whatever it was, maybe something different happens. And I know that's a whole different thing. Obviously, there were like major off-field issues with the conditions of where they were playing, and I think Costa Rica's manager was talking about it and how they didn't even think they should play the game. That's just, I don't know, these just seem like avoidable things, and now, it's altered the future of our playoffs, simply put, like that. I mean, you're taking away 2 of, like, talisman pieces of our team. If you talk about who's the most important player up top, who is arguably the most important person in the middle, and then who's the most important in the defense, like, we just lost 2 out of 3 of our levels of the field in terms of, like, star power.
How much of that blame do you kind of put on the coaching staff in the front office for even letting him go?
For letting him go.
Because that, like, with the O'Toole going to Ireland, that to me is like, it's the first time he's getting called up for any international games at all.
And I don't think he played either.
Sense. No,
so
he
you're
didn't
also
play. So it's like
risk.
He's kind of going for the experience. Alonso, I don't think it was qualifying or anything like that. I think it was just games, to my knowledge.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might have been related to World Cup qualifiers, which is important, and Alonso being the starting striker for them is a thing that has to be considered. But at the same time, I was thinking about this on the way home today too. Like, there is some blame, I think, of letting players walk during, out of the playoffs, especially when things are looking pretty good. Like, I feel like we, in many ways, were the dark horse team of
100%.
This playoff bracket. Alonso obviously being a big part of that, but a big issue is with the league not allowing, but even scheduling matches and playoffs in a way that it's getting interrupted by international games or international weeks. And this is something we've talked about every year. Like, how much does it deflate the playoffs when we have this massive 3-game series against Charlotte? We have 3 games in 9 days. Everybody's like fully bought in. We go to game 3. Some teams end up having penalties. Like, your fans are as bought in as they could be. And then we say on last episode, like, I guess we'll talk to you guys in 2 weeks when we play again. Like, it deflates the mood of, I think, the city, of the club in general. It obviously now creates opportunities for star players
to get injured,
that are making your playoffs what they are,
to
get injured. And I think as the MLS, it's just a massive fumble. I don't know what you can even do to avoid it. Obviously, I think we're going to talk a little bit about the massive schedule change league-wide coming in 2027. But, like, this, we've cried about it for years, and now we've been lucky enough to dodge the bullet in the past, and now we've gotten hit with the most fatal bullet that we could have.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this team specifically without Alonso, it's the biggest injury, I think, of this season, maybe, for any top team, for any playoff team. It's something that would kill any normal team. I know we have exciting guys like Nico Ojeda who can maybe step into those roles and take over the reins, but look, like, we're going to need to get into a big Nico backpack and pray that Hannes is the demon mode Hannes. Like,
I mean, he came back into it last game and he looked good, to be fair to Hannes. I think he was away on a little bit of an injury-related thing, or fitness.
I think, but he might have just gotten displaced.
But that's the next, so that's what this conversation leads into. And before we lead into it, the other absentee that we have to talk about, who can potentially be back in the playoffs if we push for him, is Aiden, out on yellow card trouble. And not for good reason, I'll say, right? So he gets the second yellow, or not the second, but the accumulated yellow, because he kicks the ball at Zaha while he's down on the ground. And that to me screams like Aiden wasn't aware that he was in yellow card trouble. There's a lot of ways to take that. First off, like, everybody on the field needs to be aware, I think, going into a game, who and who isn't in yellow card trouble, especially if you're the captain, because now you're becoming the guy that's getting the yellow for your team when no one's coming. And that's Thiago to go and bark at the ref and take the heat. If you're past goal, your player absolutely has to know in the playoffs if they're on yellow. And if you're Aiden, you are the most important person to know that you're on yellow accumulation trouble.
I wonder if it's kind of just...
Do you think he just lost his head? Like, or is there a world where he truly didn't know?
I feel like after the action, and then you have that, like, oh shit moment. Where, like, oh no, I can't believe. But you just look at that game and kind of the series in general. Zaha was somebody that we were doing a good job of getting under his skin. So then he starts kind of reacting to a lot of things. Very chippy between him and Tavon. So I think it was just kind of one of those things where it happened in the game. You realize, oh shit, I can't believe I just did that. And then on top of that, it compounds on top of the Pereira loss at that point, because now you're looking at a midfield where we were bad on midfield. We were sitting there talking about how Pereira and O'Neal were like gravy in midfield. Like they were like
Keaton and Sands revival.
Loving that pair. They were working perfectly together. And then in the blink of an eye, you're without both of them in the biggest game of the season. Against a really tough opponent.
And the midfield is where we have the least amount of depth in this roster. I mean, we have wingers for days. Randomly, we found all these defenders that can be the best players on the team, especially in the third game. I think it was more of a defensive masterclass there. And we'll talk about the performances of some individuals, but, like, the midfield is the one place where you couldn't lose somebody. And we lost 2 people. So now...
17-year-old and Hack.
Right? Yo, it's Hack. You think Hack goes up?
Gotta be.
He has to, right?
Gotta be.
Because that's what we saw after Pereira left, so that was kind of a snapshot of,
Yeah.
of what to expect.
It's just tough. It's tough to go against that team. And it really sucks because, you know, I definitely was hyped up off of that third game, winning that game the way that we did. You know, even with the loss of Pereira, I was still thinking, like, very confidently, you know, looking at booking trains and planes and hotels to go down. And then one thing after another just keeps coming out, and you're like, I don't know if we can survive this.
Yeah, I don't know. When the Alonso news hit, it was like, I think I just walked out here and I said to her, I was like, Alonso tore his ACL. And I just sat on the couch and didn't move for 20 minutes. I was just like, I don't know that we had, you know, you feel like we have a shot, I think, before all of this happens, right?
Yeah.
Because we think back to the Philly game earlier in the season.
Yeah.
I know we came on here after that game and we talked about that being one of the best showings that our team had this year.
Right.
Philly, I think, got away lucky in a way that they got a deflection
deflected
goal.
Yeah.
A deflected goal. They only scored one, and it was for them to win the Supporter Shield or clinch
Right.
it. But, like, otherwise, we looked great in that game.
Probably
I know
looked good.
early on, and this is a factor that we no longer have, but, like, Alonso had an opportunity to go up 1-0 on them pretty early and kind of glanced it off the front of the goal. And we had other opportunities, too. I think Ojeda scored at the end, but was barely offsides. For the equalizer that didn't count. So, like, I don't think anybody should have felt like it was a game out of reach for us going into it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now it feels pretty out of reach.
But does that almost give the team like, you know, fuck it, like what else is there to do but fight?
Yeah, there's no expectations anymore.
There's nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah,
That's what I hope it's more of, like the NYCFC in game 1 of the Charlotte series, because, you know, going on the front foot, not really caring. Less of the game 2 where it was like, well, we got a game in hand, you know, we can play it safe, we're a little tired, like, let's play possession, let's not be too dangerous. Whereas, you know, I just want go, attack, try to kill the game off early, frustrate them, try to get them to act out of character, and maybe get a man advantage or something like that.
So what does the ideal lineup with the personnel available look like for you? I think the defense is pretty set, right? And we already mentioned Hack slotting into the midfield, so that means Raul is going to step into the defense, right?
Yeah.
So where the question marks are is the top three. I personally lean, I want to see Nico in a 9 or a false 9. I feel like Ojeda, Julian, Hanez, you're going to have to ride the hot hand of one of them. You really are going to have to get this decision correct if you're to win this game, if you're Pascal. But I think it starts with Nico being up top.
Yeah, it has to.
Because I don't want to be the podcast that harps on the Utes, but like Seymour's not ready to do 90.
No.
Potentially, I think we have extra time now, right? Potentially 120.
Well,
Potentially pens.
do you roll him out in a start and give him 45?
And you have Nico on the right.
Nico on the right, Hannes on the left. Then you're able to take Seymour out, throw Ojeda in, who can run against tired legs. That type of thing.
You could. I just feel like you're really...
I just almost feel like
You're taking a big gamble.
I kind of got a wild little potential for what this team might look like, which would be actually running 5 in the back, running Hack in the middle of that 5. Then you have Maxi and the 17-year-old, who I keep forgetting his name.
Johnny Shore.
Just
I was
'cause
like,
he's been
you just
irrelevant
kept calling
for so
him
long.
The kid, the 17-year-old,
Yeah,
the kid.
he's been so irrelevant since like week 4.
He hasn't played. So he
hasn't
played
played for
20
that
minutes
long.
against Seattle, which was the last game of the season. I looked it up before this, and then he hasn't played since September.
Yeah, it's
before
been mad
that.
long. Enough
Yeah.
for me to forget his name.
Yeah,
So yeah, I would go 5 in the back, Raul, Hack,
Thiago.
Tavon, and O'Toole. Then you have Johnny Shore, Max Morales in the middle. Then you have Hannes left, Nico down the middle, and Ojeda on the right. Or you throw Julian to start and you give Ojeda the chance to run against tired legs.
I also like that with Nico on the right and starting Seymour.
Fair.
And I really don't want to see Seymour start this game, right? But I think if we were to play devil's advocate, what you gain by doing that is not massively disrupting the tactics of the team.
That's true.
Like, everybody, I think, is accustomed to playing a certain way. The biggest issue is Seymour obviously can't fill Alonso's role, so already that's majorly disrupting the game. I mean, you look at the last Charlotte game, I think all 3 of our goals were counterattacks, right? It was off of
I believe so,
Charlotte doing something, or set piece, or whatever it was, Charlotte opportunity, whether it was set piece or open play, and then it was Alonso sprinting down the field, or somebody sprinting down the field and creating
Which
something.
kind of leads to Seymour's play style.
Yeah, it does.
He
just has to, he has to find the right runs.
I don't know.
Sometimes I do feel like he does the Johnny Short thing that we talked about.
Hiding.
He hides behind a defender. And I think, young kids like that are even more prone to do that, I think, in big games.
Yeah.
And, it would be wild to put Seymour up top in a playoff game to be the guy.
If you're going to see him, I feel like if you're going to see Seymour at all in this game, it has to be the first 45. Because regardless, to start is massive, and it's a lot of pressure, but it's even more pressure to throw the kid on for 20 minutes, and we need a goal.
Yeah.
That's so much more pressure than, give him 45, see what he can do. Then you give Nico that chance at the 9.
Yeah. I mean, I think you just rewired my brain.
I'm just throwing
in a way that, like, I'm pro Seymour. Like, Seymour gets the first half, I think.
Yeah.
And everything else remains the same, aside from Hack moving up, Johnny Short slotting in, and Raul playing defense.
Yeah.
And you see what happens for 45 minutes. The personnel isn't that different than what we saw against Philly. It's just...
It is scary.
How the fuck did we find ourselves in this?
I don't know.
Why are we having this conversation?
Because now we got to do, like, the pep thing with the board, and we're trying to fit different pieces.
What you really need is, like, players that, in some cases, are unproven, in some cases are inconsistent, to step up on their day, and we should have no issues.
Lord, pray if we have Julian on that field starting. Pray for us.
I mean, the only way that happens is if Nico is down the middle.
Right, and they don't want Ojeda to be a starter.
Yeah, I would say right now the totem pole has Ojeda above Julian. I would even probably say it goes Ojeda, Hannes, Julian.
Yeah,
I think
just the 2 things combined with the penalty miss, poor performance at Yankee Stadium to begin with.
Then you have Ojeda too with that.
Yeah,
I feel like people kind of forgot about that because it was such a quick turnaround.
Yeah,
but that was a bad night, I think.
That was a horrible night. that was one of my lowest watching the team.
In our community, that was a bad night.
That was really just a poor performance for Pascal, and we had spent a large amount of time kind of praising him for the weeks leading up to that game. Mm-hmm. Just no ability to get your team kind of motivated for what is a win, to not go home, and you also get a massive vacation after it. Mm-hmm. What more motivation do you have? If you can't get up for that, what can you get up for?
And did Julian get minutes again in the third game?
I don't think so.
So that was the last time he touched the ball for us.
I could be misremembering. I could see.
If not, then that would be the last time that Julian has touched the ball for us, and
it was
worries me even more.
Even leading up to missing a penalty in that game. You think about the Trivella pass that went into the supporter section.
Yeah.
All these passes that have gone astray.
Yeah, I don't know that the confidence is there, and I feel like something we've seen in the past is that, I mean, both with Hannes and Julian, I think they have a way, I think, of mentally getting down on themselves. Like, they kind of, they get into this hole it's tough to come out of, which, Julian would be considered in that hole right now.
He's like so Talas coded to me.
Yeah, Talas was that way too.
Like, you just see flashes of him and you're like, holy shit, like, this could be a top 30 player in the world. Like, he genuinely has technique that is just, you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then you have moments where, like, could he play at our pickup league?
Yeah.
Could he genuinely, like, play 45 minutes for us?
I'll tell you, certain guys in the pickup league would put a shoulder on him and break him in two. Break him in two.
Yeah, the dude would be limping off. Yeah, 100%.
So I don't know. I mean, I think this game is Pascal's to screw up,
Yeah, to a degree,
right?
but even if
It's going to come
the
down to
thing
his
is-
decisions at the end of the day. Like, I think
Yeah.
he is going to make or break. Right, there's a world where he does roll out a lineup and players screw it up on the field. But I think there's a very possible way where we walk away from the game and we think that Pascal is the reason that we lost this game.
he's the reason we lost game 2.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I don't know. There's a lot of pressure on him, but at the same time, he gets the free pass of like, well, I lost 2 stars, so like, what do you want me to do?
Right. And, we also don't have the ability, we couldn't have had the vision to see this, but like Maximo is unavailable.
Yeah,
I think he's somebody that definitely would have been considered to do something in the lineup.
easily.
If not I think he's captaining the 17
Yeah.
under World Cup team. So you can't pull him.
No.
You can't pull him.
It's one of those things where it's like the occasion is too big.
So it's Johnny Shore's season. Like I think,
And if he could tap into that like week 1 through 5, Johnny Shore, I'm confident.
yeah.
If he's
I
going to
agree.
be, the one that got a little bit of praise and started hiding behind defenders and kind of going invisible, it's going to be a tough day. It's going to be a long road.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Wishing the best of luck. I think the last thing that we need to touch on that is really league-shattering news is the schedule change.
Yeah.
I think,
There's mixed reviews out there.
yeah. I mean, where do we stand? I feel like in the past we've said we want this, right?
I want it.
Yeah. And I guess I don't really understand the people that don't.
Right.
Because I think
Well, because it's like we'll be cold and stuff like that, which is all valid, but
there's a break
the
over
benefits-
the winter, too.
yeah.
And we already play in February,
Yeah.
right? And, like, even at the end of the day, can't the league strategically schedule, maybe they front load you? I guess you get front loaded with away games, right? Like, if you're a cold weather team. I don't know. Then do you start to say it's unfair for certain teams?
But
if
then
that
you also
happens?
just like, do the thing that NFL teams do and organizations do where their stadiums are built to be used in the cold.
Right.
Their facilities accommodate for things like that. It's not like a baseball stadium where there's really no expectation for it to be used outside of, spring through the end of October.
Or be the NFL teams where that becomes a part of your competitive advantage.
Right.
You think of, the national...
Miami takes advantage of humidity and all that.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, they put the away team in the sun. You think of the Patriots, it's synonymous with, like, you have to come up to the Patriots and you have to beat them in this weather.
in the cold.
Yeah, same with the Chiefs.
Can you do it on a cold Saturday night in New York
You're right.
type of thing?
You think of the national frenzy when Kansas City had the playoff game,
Yeah.
and it was like negative 10 degrees.
Yeah, people
like,
getting frostbite left and right.
Nobody cared, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know. I think people are concerned that less fans will come to the game. I feel like that's an issue of the fans.
Yeah.
Because like the KC fans have no issue.
Right.
The Pats fans have no issues. I would have no issue. We were out in New England in the coldest weather that we've been in our lives.
Yeah.
With them too as well. And it's like, it was doable. It was
We
doable
lived.
and it was worth it, and
We
I would
lived.
go again.
And if you
today.
if you're standing up bouncing on your feet, you're gonna be warm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's a good thing. Obviously, aligning with the transfer markets
Gravy.
is the key.
That's the reason we're in City Football Group.
Everything is unlocked for us now. Like this.
It makes our life so much better.
Yeah. Now we can be a part of that system. That we can live off of that
Actually,
system instead of getting cannibalized.
Instead of being
by
a feeder, we can actually
can
We can eat.
Yeah. It's all gravy for us. I think.
It's all gravy.
So.
I think the only other thing that we didn't talk about was Lee leaving.
Yeah, we haven't
Which
talked about that.
I feel like can be quick. It sucks. And I just find the weirdest part about it is the fact that it was mid-season. The fact that you're not we're in the playoffs, have a good chance to, at the time, you have a good chance to go and do something. And a lot of the reports are, that some of our best players were your call. Wouldn't you want to stick around to potentially win a chip with the guys that you You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the whole thing kind of didn't make sense to me. It kind of seemed like there was something else going on behind the scenes that kind of blew up to that position. Or alternatively, the other team that he went to basically was like, it's now or never.
Yeah, they
Because
probably
we wanna
blank
start-
checked him, I guess.
We want to start building for, he still gets a ring, right, if we win.
I don't know. Does he?
Because he was part of it for, I don't know.
If you were the ring bearer, would you
he
give
gets
him one? You'd
Yeah,
give him
yeah.
one?
If it's true that he went and got Nico and Ojeda's and all those guys, Raul, and those guys end up going to win a chip, like, absolutely. I'll mail him one.
Is that what he said?
Dude, I'll buy the $100, $200 one and mail it to him.
The Zales one?
Yeah.
Is that true? Did he say that? That he got those
Those
guys?
are the reports, is that he was massively held back, like he wasn't really
Yeah, I saw.
allowed to make those decisions, but
That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
But
I'm not allowed to make these
he
decisions.
massively pushed for, Hannes, Nico, Raul, Ojeda's, and those type of guys.
Okay. That just, to me, that gets a little fishy to me, where he's like, I'm not really allowed to do what I want, but like every player that we hit on while I was
that
here,
That was me.
I did that.
It's like, Tales, that was some other dude.
Yeah. That, that gets a little fishy to me. But I did see his press conference, and I was happy that he spoke out, I think probably on behalf of the fans.
Yeah.
A lot of us have wondered for a long time. Every time we get a new signing, we go, is this a CFG signing or is this an NYCFC signing? Raul, NYCFC, because of the history with Pascal. Tales, CFG. Thiago Andrade, CFG. All these guys that we bring in that...
Pereira, I should say.
GP, yes, not
yeah,
Pereira.
GP. Yeah.
Pereira, I would say NYCFC, right? We get him
NYCFC,
from Philly's, not academy, but kind of reserves.
Yeah.
But yeah, GP, CFG. Him coming is CFG, and him leaving is CFG.
CFG.
So it's hard to know, but it was he validated, I guess, those rumors, those thoughts.
Yeah.
That he didn't have ultimate control, which you will in any other club in the world, any other non-CFG club in the world. And that's probably a part of him wanting to leave too. He doesn't feel like he could impose his will on the team.
Yeah. Maybe not total control, but...
Yeah. But, like, it is your job. Like,
right, that is your football director. That is your job to direct.
I can imagine being him and, like, being pretty upset
off.
if I was the football director and, like, you get this job and you're like, oh, I get to work with this.
Dude, I run a couple of trucks and I'm like, if you don't give me total control, I'm gonna freak out.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine.
And people aren't in the stands being like, yo, if that truck isn't there,
we're
gonna have your head.
There's
bro.
no Justin out signs in the crowd.
Could you imagine like getting slagged like that for like 3 seasons?
Well, isn't that allegedly why Domé left?
Yeah,
was
because
like
he didn't
lack
have
of
enough
control and things like that.
That is 100%
It seems to be a theme with the job, but the outsiders looking in, if you're looking for that job, like, you know what you're getting into. You know that you're part of the bigger conglomerate of CFG and that there's not going to be a lot of control. You kind of got to, find your pockets and be able to get your stuff off in the way that Lee apparently did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so all that to say that I think aligning with the world transfer window is only going to, I think, ease that issue, or at least allow us to be the eaters off the system and not always the feeders. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's correct. Because it's been...
Eaters, not feeders.
We've just been they've been vampiring us for years.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's time for us to eat. It's poetic that it's going to happen with the new stadium.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now the opening gets pushed back from February to July.
Right.
But
it gives us time to get our stuff off.
Yeah, and it's like all NYCFC fans ever want is a summer afternoon football game.
Oh, it's the best.
Like, there's nothing better.
It's the best.
And now that's what the home opener is. That's going to be a beautiful thing that we'll both be at, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. I guess we didn't talk too much about the defense, but, like, I mean, those boys are rocking back there. I think Tavon deserves unlimited praise. Yeah, unlimited praise for Tavon.
Pocketed that guy. And Zaha's
not
a
the
bum,
first time.
bro. Zaha's a bum.
Yeah, I mean, just from the chirping of the media to start the whole campaign after you got banned, because he threw a punch, right, to miss the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So what are we doing getting mad at media? I don't know, but rightfully so. Dean Smith is also
delusional.
I have no respect for him. I don't know if you're a Charlotte fan how you could have respect for him. I guess because you're drinking the Kool-Aid. But like,
you have to almost
I don't know how you could possibly watch those games and at any point,
think,
even in the game that we lost, at any point that you deserved a win. There was never a moment, never a second, never a
in
minute.
any of the 3 games,
None of them. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Charlotte. T's and P's. We'll see you next season. I feel like we have a special relationship with Charlotte because that's the only game really that we traveled stupid far to.
Yeah.
Like, out of everyone
true.
in the league. So
Yeah, it made it a point, carved out, what was going to be separate.
We turned a 12-hour drive into like a 19-hour drive for seeing Charlotte.
Yeah, and it was a cool little area.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
And don't whine about baseball stadiums when you play in a turf football stadium.
That broke someone's leg.
Let me just say that. The baseball stadium, by the way, and we've said this on the podcast before, has never caused a non-contact injury to a player. Ever. In any of our games.
It's because it's a good field.
Confirmed by the outfield.
And it's a good field. Whereas you got MetLife Jr. over there for the Bank of America Stadium.
It's
snatching people's legs.
Shout out to my Giants fans that lost Perea and Scatabo. Both to turf injuries in the same week. I can't imagine being you. I wouldn't be a Giants fan as well.
That would be so sad. That would be so sad.
But yeah, I think that's 168. Appreciate you guys listening. I feel like this was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
The vibes of in person.
It
has to be said that
we got to find like a neutral site.
There has to be a way because it's different. But we appreciate you guys watching, listening. Yeah, that'll do it. We'll talk to you guys after Philly. Hopefully we come out with a dub.
Yeah, or at least, positive, good showing.
Go down fighting.
Maybe bite an ear off. What did Dan Campbell say? Bite a kneecap off?
Yeah. I mean, I know Freese is going to be up to it. And that's the last thing that I absolutely hate about losing Perea is how amped this dude would have been to return to play against his team
100%.
in a game the same way that Freese will be.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've kind of lost that fire that we had like in 2021, 2020, 2022, where like there were people putting up polls of our biggest rival, and like Red Bulls and Philly were not far off each other. I feel like that fire.
I feel like I dislike Philly more
than the Red Bulls.
Yeah.
I don't know. We also didn't talk about the Garden situation.
The Garden.
But like, come on.
But that's like fun.
Yeah.
Though.
No, that was a good thing. That's like people in the city care about MLS, and I like that.
So essentially, if you would allow me to kind of tell your story, we went to the Garden. We went floor seats at the Garden.
Yeah.
Not for the Knicks. It was
pockets aren't that large.
Nah, it was $100 ticket to a podcast comedy show that the girls watch. And essentially, we're on our way out. The girls are using the restrooms, and this guy, he's wearing his NYCFC windbreaker, and this random man from, who knows, down the hall.
New Jersey, I think.
Well, yeah, clearly. Starts chirping him about,
I think he's
his
city sucks.
NYCFC's or New York's Fred and all this stuff. It was just good. I don't know. It was good to see that people cared.
It was a fun encounter. I think I had fun. I don't know that he had that much fun.
No.
He seemed like more actually
He's like, why aren't you
aggressive
I think you said, why aren't you guys in the playoffs?
Well, yeah. I didn't. I think he called out like 3 times. First off, like that's hella aura loss, bro. Why are you like? Come on, we didn't hear you the first time.
Like clip farming.
Just you're dragging it at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just said NYCFC sucks, and I was like, well, then why did you miss the playoffs?
Yeah.
And then I kind of walked past the corner, and couldn't see him anymore. But I did take that away from it too. Like I'm happy. Like that hasn't happened before.
No, it was
and
just
people
good
care about city. They care about the Red Bulls, and the city cares about soccer. Like that.
That was cool.
Yeah, I hope that continues to happen.
That. Even though it was like
outside of like a soccer experience too. Like we weren't at a stadium. It wasn't a game day.
Yeah.
It was the down week because of international break.
Right. It was days before tragedy.
Yeah.
Maybe the day before tragedy, actually.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be like, where were you when Alonso tore his ACL?
Yeah, and it just sucks that bigger conversation about like his age and returning to form and.
I can't even get into it. It's just like
that will be end of the season talk type of stuff.
Yeah.
Or maybe pre-season next year.
It just like potentially creates one of the biggest like what ifs that our club has scene, right? It depends. I mean, I know
That's just depressing.
he's young, but he's not. He's not
like-
17,
he's
right?
on the older side of young.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Two of the worst or most gruesome injuries we've ever had in our club history. Like, we
Like,
haven't had
back-to-back.
crazy stuff. Maxey had the ACL.
No, Perez was the worst.
Oh yeah,
was the most
I mean, he
gruesome
picked
injury.
the leg up and it was.
It was sideways.
Hanging.
That was the most gruesome NYCFC injury. You know, Maxi we saw live. Hebert we saw live.
Yeah.
Those both hurt. But that's really it.
Those are the worst.
Malachi Jones. I think the keeper came off worse in that one.
Yeah, but then like, Malachi's still not available to play, bro.
I know.
I just don't even. That wasn't even. Was it end of season? Like, that was mid-season.
That was mid-season 2 years ago, I want to say.
I just don't understand. Of one of the most promising young
Well, I
talents.
mean, maybe
in the
that's,
league.
you know.
That's probably the
you
worst.
don't want to rush him until. But it could have been. I don't know. There's not really much reporting around it. That's what's weird.
Yeah.
But it could be like, you know, when Alex Smith broke his leg, he had some infection issues that he was dealing with, and
I mean,
it
we
made the
asked
road really long.
Pascal about Malachi early season, and
Yeah,
he said
he
Mally
seemed
would be back
optimistic.
soon. That's what he said.
But then he got surgery again, and that kind of threw everything off. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot, I guess, to think about going forward. Who we have, who's available.
Yeah.
You know, does Parade end up coming back? Does Hack leave on a free?
Oh, that was another topic that we didn't get to.
There's a lot of
And
things.
we've already signed off twice.
Yeah, I fear if we waffle any longer, we're gonna have
People are gonna
guests
start
coming
walking.
in.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'll just say on the Hack point, maybe I guess it's an end of season conversation, but you cannot let Hack leave. Period.
period. Not even just for a fee.
Or you have to. I mean, maybe you do. Like, you have to get him on a contract. You don't let him walk for free. If you do, it's the biggest fumble that this club has ever had in history. Beyond who are some of the other biggest fumbles I'm trying to think of? Who
for
was the kid?
Freezies? Angelino?
Oh, I can't remember.
Angelino?
I don't know. I can't remember who I was thinking of. But, like, this would by far and away be, the biggest in club history. So can't let that happen. You guys go. I know the game is tomorrow when you hear this. So we're going to be sitting through the anxiety with you.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, we'll see you after the game.
Yeah, peace.
Deuce.
Produced by Mr. Darko Beats.